So off to the greenhouse. You can see it's 77 degrees in here and the humidity is very high, even though it's 62 inside the house. So this is a little 5 feet by 6 foot approximately little greenhouse that I grow my plants indoors with. Now you'll see my tomato plants. I pulled them off the ground because we got rain and snow coming, and we got some last night, and we're gonna have more. We're gonna have a couple days of cold, and just gonna absolutely kill my tomatoes. And I want to keep them because I love these cherry tomatoes. They're the golden cherry tomatoes, and they're really sweet. They're like eating sugar. And then of course I have some of these are. This is my squashes that I want to keep growing. So I pulled some of them out of the thing. If the other ones survive, that's great, because we're going to have warm weather for the next couple of, next couple of weeks after this little cold snap for the next 2 days, which is going to freeze a couple of days, and I'm afraid that the garden's going to get wiped out. And then this is the Swiss chard that I've been growing, and of course I've butchered it because I've used it within a day or so. I've been growing this since last winter, so it never stops giving. And then so I pulled the rest of my Swiss chard out of the garden and planted it here because I want a good source of leafy vegetables, green vegetables. You know, this is really about that size is when I pick them, and they just keep growing, growing, growing. And I added some. I think you'll notice this, but I added some 4-foot full growth grow lights. And they're really awesome. These are 50 watts a piece, and it covers the whole thing. So it really made more sense than just those little square, little round ones for grow lights, as you can see. And there's quite a bit here. Sneaking under here, what we have here is these are my microgreens, and I was starting them, and you can see some of them may be starting to sprout already. I just started them yesterday, and I have a video on that on my other channel, but I will go over that with y'all later if I can get the light back on. You cover your microgreens when you go to do this. Microgreens. Here's some more trays set up for microgreens, and of course, here's one I've been growing for a while. I use this. This is that microgreen right there is celery, and it's great in soups and salads and everything else. I just pick a little bit of it off and use it whenever I need it. And of course, I have these self-watering trays from True Leaf Market. And see, the way they work is that they have wicks on them, the growing tray, and you fill the bottom up with water. Then you put the tray on there, and then it self-waters itself for 7 to 10 days. So you really don't have to water them at all. Once you get them started, the microgreens grow on their own, and they don't suffocate from the water. And that's really important when you do microgreens. And so I started 3 trays over here of microgreens, and then I'm going to start another 3 trays about tomorrow, because I like to keep them about 2 days apart. Then I got all these microgreens growing. They can turn into baby greens, or they can turn into just something like an herb I use all the time, and I can have fresh herbs instead of having to grow them in a pot and worry about trimming the plant stuff. You can just start the microgreens, and the herbs and stuff will just keep growing, and you can just pick them off as you need them for food. So these are really, really nice little trays, and you pack the seeds in really thick, so you wouldn't think that is very much right there, but that's a lot of celery for seasoning for soups and everything else. You could use this for days. Anyway, this is my indoor greenhouse. I have another one just the same size that I usually set up later in the year in the wintertime, but my main thing is to provide fresh greens for myself, for my salads and everything else, and of course I love tomatoes and other stuff like that. But as you can see, I do watch the humidity, and it is very high in here, and it's 74 and it's 62 outside of this little greenhouse inside my den. And of course, it's easy to set up. Just put a blue tarp in there and underneath it, and I rotate it around every 2 to 3 months so I don't get a buildup of mold and all that stuff. Alright, hope you enjoyed the tour. And of course, this entire greenhouse is powered by solar energy on the other solar system that I have, which is 800 watt panels and an 80 amp solar controller, which I'll include in another video.
Whoa!